Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to our opposition. Good evening to the balance of the A team. Now, it falls to me to open the argument for the Street Smarts team, but I'm wondering whether this isn't, in fact, a little academic, no pun intended. Here we have Leah and Sam admitting that they're giving up all these book smarts to become real entrepreneurs. We've got an audience of clearly intelligent and highly street smart individuals. I ask you whether in fact this is not an open and shut case, that street smarts is exactly what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. Thank you. Now I'm an example of an entrepreneur. I started with absolutely nothing. I've still got most of it left. But the term entrepreneur is bandied about with great frequency these days, and not always in a positive way. There have been a few high-profile entrepreneurs that have pushed the envelope in recent times. At the HIH Royal Commission, they asked, what do you give an entrepreneur that has everything? Answer, 10 years with time off for good behaviour. Now today, entrepreneurs are often defined as risk-takers who start businesses. The smart ones then hire MBAs to run them. Street Smarts is about creating. It's often about change. It's always about the future. Book Smarts is steeped in the past and the present. It's locked in rules and regulations. Now, that's not to say the Street Smarts and Book Smarts are mutually exclusive. Street Smart entrepreneurs will often take to the books to define their ideas. But when they rely solely on the books, I've got to tell you, they're doomed to failure. Now, being an entrepreneur is not an age thing. Entrepreneurs start out at 20, 40, even 60. Right? They have a passion, they have an idea, a vision, which sometimes they're the only ones who can see. Now, at this stage, of course, those sort of ideas aren't written in books. They're not dissected in PhD theses. They may not even work. But the winners are often those that simply never give up. And despite the courses that you can take in entrepreneurship these days, there are many, just check out the internet. These are the sort of things you don't learn out of books. You learn out of life. Entrepreneurs are not a new breed. They've been around setting the world on fire since time began. We've often called them different things in the past. When I was at school, we learned about pioneers. And I'm going to tell you, many of those were not book smart. Captain Cook, Captain Scott, take Captain Kirk. They've all been where man and woman have never been before. There was Edison and the electric light bulb. When he was asked, how did he know that a particular filament worked in his light bulb? He said, because quite simply, I found 3,500 that didn't work. Now, if he'd had a degree qualified business manager at the time, he wouldn't have got past 100. Because he would have been told, based on all of the graphs of probability and based on all the economic trends, it'll never work. And for all that book learning, we'd still be in the dark. But I've got to ask, before I go, I've got to ask, okay, when did Lemo see the light? When did his comedy street smarts take over from his accounting book smarts? Was he a funny accountant, or was he a genuinely funny man trying to break free? Now, I'll probably answer my own question, because when was the last time you actually met a funny accountant? Or financial planner, for that matter? I had a friend who went to the doctor. Okay, doctor said, you've got 6 months to live. She said, what shall I do? He said, marry an accountant. She said, will that make me live longer? He said, no, it'll just seem that way. As you listen to us up here tonight, have a mind for the future generations to come. Of all the kids in primary school, right, 75% of them are going to graduate into jobs, businesses, careers that don't yet exist. To deal with that turmoil of change, we need more pioneers. We need more entrepreneurs with street smart abilities. If nothing else, to develop a roadway that our book smart teams can follow. Thank you very much.